But we're going over to the COP26 climate conference now to talk a bit more about that. And one of its missions is to highlight how important it is for society to become net zero by 2050. Well, that's when the amount of greenhouse gas we produce balances out the amount removed from the atmosphere. Yesterday, ministers told big businesses they must show exactly how they'll do that within the next 2 years. That won't be a problem for a hotel in Chiswick, though. In a world first, they're doing it anyway. Antoine Allen went for a look around.
Welcome to room2 Chiswick here in London. This is the world's first whole-life net zero hotel. We open in a few weeks. Let me show you around.
Every part of the construction of this hotel had climate change in mind. To help deliver a brighter future for the planet and inside the hotel, natural light is captured to minimise electricity usage.
In order to minimise our energy use on site and thus our carbon, 100% of the in-room lighting, heating and cooling is controlled by motion sensors.
From the carpets made from recycled fishing nets, a heating system that doesn't use any fossil fuels, and solar panels on the roof. Unlike the other buildings around the world that account for 40% of global greenhouse emissions, Room 2 was built for a low-carbon future.
I feel a real obligation to protect our environment as a relatively young business, to protect the world as we know it for existing and also future generations.
Even the tiles, mirrors and wallpapers were designed by local artists in order to save energy. The guests that stay here will get everything they expect from a boutique hotel. Soft bed, hot water and of course beautiful surroundings. But the difference between this hotel and every other in the world currently is more than just energy saving lights. From construction to operation, this hotel will remain carbon net zero.
Typically, companies will look to lower their carbon footprint by looking at the energy used to run the building or the business. But we're different. We're looking at the whole life net zero principles here. What that means is we're trying to take into account our full carbon footprint, looking at the manufacture of every material, every brick, and even how far it's travelled to get here.
Some companies have been accused of greenwashing, so how can the public see between the fact and the fiction when it comes to who actually cares about the environment?
It was a very good question. A lot of companies are setting roadmaps to net zero, so they have a strategy for reducing their emissions over time. We were the first UK hotel group to set a strategy net zero by 2030.
Room 2 is already welcoming tiny guests. The hotel owners believe when they open in December, it will be 89% more energy efficient than the average UK hotel. Antoine Allen, ITV News.
And from net zero hotels to sustainability and toys, Selfridges are collaborating with a charity